Award season is upon us. I'm Eliza Heidelberg. Find out how the best feature film nominees for the Oscars did at your local movie theater.
Roads and bridges in a state of disrepair. I'm Casey Cox, and I'm taking a look at a few of the projects set to be underway this year in Mississippi.
Ole Miss graduate believes that his company could change the way that we pay for transportation. I'm Reed Williams, and I have the story.
The Search for a Cure. I'm Maggie Thomas. Hear how one Mississippi State student is using her story to start the E-Center's first nonprofit.
Unemployment rates are high. A bachelor's degree cuts it down in half. Find out what else you can do to cut it down even more.
The U.S.'s unemployment rate has rose in December. However, this is still the lowest that it has been in many years. Good evening. I'm Megan Terry.
And I'm Maggie Thomas. Despite this, recent and soon-to-be grads are still struggling to find jobs after college. Whether you graduate in May or just started college, Take 30's Avery Devine shares some tips on how to land a job.
Mississippi is tied 45th at 4.7% in unemployment rates. That's then cut down to 2.1% for those who obtain a bachelor's degree. That means 1 out of 50 students will go unemployed after graduation. I spoke with Dr. John Ford about what students and the university can do to make that number smaller.
And one of the things I tell people is that you first of all need to go to class and be in class and be engaged with your teachers, get to know them. Secondly, you need to be sure that you do internships or get some other work experience like that. And third, you need to make connections with people. You need to network.
I say Mississippi State has done a pretty decent job with helping me find a job with the internships they offer. They offer specific career fairs for my major. But I would say I was a microbiology major, and I didn't get any type of help with that.
Part of my major, I have to have a semester of internship. My advisor was pretty helpful with that. They set you up with an internship, but you have to apply to nursing school and all that. That's on you.
Now, there's an app right now, Mississippi Works. It was developed by InSpark in cooperation with state government, where you can go put information in about yourself and degrees or degree and what kind of information you want to put. And then it'll match you with positions, and you can look through and find jobs that are in the area or in the state. So things like that, I think kind of partnering is very helpful.
To learn more about jobs or internships available, visit the Career Center in Montgomery Hall, and Ford recommends talking to your advisors.
A recent ATM scam in Columbus is leaving people with money missing and the police on a hunt to find the suspect. A press release from the Columbus Police Department says that the name of the bank and the identity of the victims will not be released. However, the Columbus Police Department is searching high and low, trying to find the man who they say pulled up to an ATM on a bicycle and used a copied ATM card to withdraw money. The suspect is said to have withdrawn over $1,000 in the area in this past week from a technique called ATM skimming. ATM skimming is a form of copying that thieves use to copy account numbers of cards that come to an ATM. Some ATM skimmers place a small camera into the ATM machines that appear to be part of the machines or brochure holders. In these cases, many people will not know that their PIN and card credentials are being copied. Much needed repairs could be on the way for roads.
This after $2 million and $13 million in projects were approved by the state. Take 30's Casey Cox takes us to some spots where you'll see improvements.
The Mississippi Transportation Commission approved 163 projects to repair degraded roads and bridges across Mississippi. The commission authorized the state to issue $250 million in bonds to fund emergency repairs. A Department of Transportation news release said cities and counties will oversee projects totaling $213 million. Oktibbeha County is one of the counties receiving funds to repair some of its most severely damaged roads and bridges.
Most of the time in Mississippi, and this goes all over the state, when a bridge is closed, it's the substructure, the piling.
Behind me is the bridge on Mount Olive Road, just south of Starkville. It's one of the bridges that has been closed down since last year, and for good reason. You can see damage along the railing here, and a lot of the support structure is crumbling to pieces. Repairing the wooden piling beneath the bridge requires the entire bridge to be replaced. The bridge closures and road maintenance is frustrating to almost everyone, and Oktibbeha County officials have a request that they ask residents to keep in mind.
That the Oktibbeha County Road Department attempts to to gravel right-of-ways, to replace culverts, to clean ditches, and to maintain drainage. We put everything we have into doing that. We do it on a daily basis. And so I would ask, when possible, to be as patient as you can, because if you call, we are going to put in a work order and we are going to come in your direction as quickly as possible.
I'm Casey Cox for Take 30 News.
Oktibbeha County residents who want to file a work order for a road repair can reach the Oktibbeha County Central Shop at 662-323-5752. Mississippi State's traffic has been backed up due to the closing of President Circle Road, but on Monday the road was reopened. Mississippi State started construction for the new engineering complex in December 2018. This construction led to the road closure of President Circle Road. Because of this, many students were late for classes, or it simply took them a while to make it home. As of Monday, January 28, 2019, Mississippi State opened President Circle Road again. MSU commuter Ryan Clay says he hopes that traffic will be lighter.
President Circle Road was closed on campus due to the construction of the engineering building, which caused the flow of traffic to come all the way to Blackjack. I personally live in a point, and going back and forth to class or coming back home, it was hard. Now that they open back up, hopefully the flow of traffic will be better.
An Ole Miss graduate is bringing something to Starkville that he says could save college students lots of money, trouble, and even lives. Take 30's Reed Williams has the story.
Target month in which the current Oxford, Mississippi driving service Easy Rider will make its expansion to Starkville. Easy Rider intends to change the way that we pay for driving service like Uber by offering a subscription-based payment plan that will allow unlimited rides throughout the duration of your weekly, monthly, or yearly subscription.
The initial vision has always been, providing a safer, more convenient alternative. And so we feel like if you take the per ride transaction out of the picture on the user end, then there's zero reason to ever put yourself at risk when it comes to getting from point A to point B, whether it be drinking and driving, you're at the library late at night and don't want to walk across, campus back to your dorm or to your car because you had to park far away, whatever the case may be. Every ride's paid for, therefore there's zero reason to put yourself at risk.
With all these new driving services being offered, studies are suggesting that drunk driving and DUI rates are lowering.
According to the CDC, one person every 52 minutes will die in an alcohol-related incident, oftentimes when they're leaving their local bar like this, and they attempt to drive home because they have no other way to get home.
Yeah, I think there's probably definitely a decrease in DUIs because everyone says that Starkville is like the DUI capital. Like a lot of people don't even like coming to drink in Starkville because they're scared of driving.
It ties in with our vision and my passion for the company individually. And at the end of the day, until this is available to in all of our target markets, then I'm not going to stop.
For more information on Easy Rider, you can visit www.easy-rider.com.
Pop your popcorn and get ready for an elegant evening because the Oscars are on their way.
But do Mississippi moviegoers tend to agree? Take 30's Eliza Heidelberg takes a look into how movies up for Best Picture did here in Starkville.
On January 22nd, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced the nominations for the 91st Academy Awards. Up for Best Picture are Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther, Black Klansman, The Favorite, Green Book, A Star is Born, Roma, and Vice. I came to the Hollywood Premiere Cinema to see if the movies that the judges in the Academy Awards are picking for Best Picture are the same ones that viewers are coming to the movie theaters to see. According to Box Office Mojo, Black Panther was the highest grossing movie of 2018, bringing in over $700 million. However, only 7 of the 8 Best Picture nominees made the list of top 100 grossing movies.
A Star is Born is one of my all-time favorites as well. It was just a pleasure to see, such a good movie, and all age groups enjoyed it, and great music. Bohemian Rhapsody, of course, I'm from the Queen era, so I've really enjoyed that. Those movies did fantastic here at the Hollywood, and so looking forward to see how they perform at the Oscars. Green Book, however, we have not played yet, but because of all the Oscar buzz, we do plan to bring it here to the Hollywood. It may only be here for a week, so keep an eye out for that.
Some of the movies that the Academy Award judges nominate for Best Picture are not always the fans' favorites. However, this year, Black Panther, A Star is Born, and Bohemian Rhapsody seem to do very well among the Starkville public. I'm Eliza Heidelberg with Take 30 News.
The Oscars will be televised live on Sunday, February 24th on ABC. After the break, safety, stalking, and this.
She was like any other high schooler until
one day in October that kind of all was taken away from me because, well, I passed out. That one passing out turned into 25. Over half a dozen doctors looked at me and what they told me was, well, it's the hardest thing to diagnose and the hardest thing to treat, and a lot of people live their whole life with it and you can die with it. And I said, well, if you're not going to do something about it, then who will?
See what she's doing Thursday at 4 on Take 30 News.
You know the scene in those popular TV crime shows when the investigators show up? The one where they scratch their heads while trying to figure out who committed the homicide and when? At Mississippi State University, we're solving mysteries behind real-life crime scenes with forensic research that's a first of its kind. Teaming with microbiologists from around the country, we're examining microscopic bacteria that can help solve real murders. So far, our partnership with a major metropolitan medical examiner is yielding results with more than 200 real-life crime samples analyzed. We're learning how microbiomes change and relocate, uncovering evidence in criminal investigations by better pinpointing time of death. Way more exciting than being a TV detective. We're finding crucial answers when they're needed most. Solving mysteries with science, that's worth watching.
A startling scene is making the rounds on social media. It allegedly portrays a woman being sexually assaulted at a party.
Now, parents and students are thinking about safety differently. Take 30's Rashad Crosby reports that police are using this opportunity as a chance to spread the word.
Trending on social media this week at Club Opera in Atlanta, a lady was allegedly sexually assaulted while partying on Facebook Live. I asked fellow students around the campus what they thought about the situation. Also, I asked them about party habits and party safety.
Sexual harassment is wrong in any situation. Just because she was drinking, just because she was out partying, does not mean that she was asking for it. It's not right, and since they do have record of it, they have a video, they shouldn't just let it slide. They should actually apprehend him.
I try to travel, you know, with friends. My mom always instilled that whole buddy system kind of thing, so I usually try to go out with other people.
Stay with your friends, watch your surroundings, trust the drink or whoever's making the drink, and make sure you know them and you can trust them. Don't drink from anybody.
I also stopped by the campus police so they can give us some advice as well.
It's going to be anything in pill form or powder form. That's the main thing to look out for. Some liquids, it's not quite as popular because it's harder to carry. But look at things kind of like a BC powder. It's like crushed up tablets and paper, small things like that. Things that don't belong in the packaging that they are in, if that makes sense.
If you have experienced sexual assault or other sexual misconduct and you need help, you can call the MSU Safe line at 662-325-3333. Social media creeping, taking to extreme levels, has 1 in 4 people reporting cyber stalking. Mississippi State University Department of Health, Promotion, and Wellness is offering resources and information to students who may be experiencing stalking on college campuses for this month, which is Stalking Awareness Month.
Social media is very, very easy to stalk. People don't even realize they may be stalking someone. You can find people's location quickly. You can see what they posted recently. You can see where they will be at later on. So it's very easy to follow someone around when those attempts are not wanted. The most important thing I would say is if someone feels that they are being threatened or they think they are unsafe through your attempts, it's better to just stop.
The MSU Department of Health Promotion and Wellness reminds students that if you are in immediate danger, to call 911. To access the victim helpline, dial 855-484-2846 or contact Student Counseling Services.
Mississippi State student Amanda Swanton has founded a business that can change lives. I spoke with her to find out how it got its start.
Amanda Swanton walked into Mississippi State's E-Center on the second day of her freshman year with the mission to make a difference for those suffering from the same illness as her.
In October 2014, 16-year-old Amanda Swanton fainted while at show choir practice. This would turn out to be the first of 25 fainting spells over the next 14 months. After many doctor's visits, Swanton was finally diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, also known as POTS.
It was great to finally get an answer, but really what was frustrating was, okay, well, what is this exactly? Or how do you treat this? And what they told me was, well, it's the hardest thing to diagnose and the hardest thing to treat, and a lot of people, you know, live their whole life with it, and they could die, and you can die with it.
After doing research, the Chicago native found that this automatic nervous system condition affects up to 3 million people around the world.
It takes a while for the heart rate to push the blood through the body, so its natural instinct is to send all the blood in the body to the legs, therefore passing out. And there's a million other symptoms to it because of it being a syndrome. Everybody is different.
Swanton also discovered little research is being done to find a cure for the illness. So she decided to take matters into her own hands and started the A85 Cure Foundation in January 2016. Now 20 years old, the Mississippi State student is continuing to grow her nonprofit through the E-Center.
I read a couple statistics, and one of the statistics said that 85% of POTS patients will be misdiagnosed prior to receiving a POTS diagnosis. So I'm like, that's what we have to present, that's what we have to talk about. So I took the 85 and I said, you know what, I'll put my first initial in, so A85, and then cure because we're trying to find a cure.
Swanton's goal is to advance POTS research and raise awareness about the syndrome in order to cure a fifth of POTS patients by the year 2025.
A85 Cure is always here for anyone. You know, we're a community of people that know what you're going through and understand what you're suffering from, and we're trying our best to find a cure, and advocacy is very high and very important on our list as well.
If you would like to learn more about POTS and the A85 Cure Foundation, visit a85cure.org.
The Maroon Alert system may have bombarded your phone on Monday evening, and like many people, you probably picked up to hearing a voice telling you that your classes were canceled. But who is the man behind that message?
Maroon Alert. MSU wants you to pay attention to this important message.
Allison Krause covered it.
Turns out it's WMSV radio station general manager Anthony Craven. He says that after the university records a message he makes, he usually gets a lot of calls, emails, and social media comments. Most of them are, "Hey, I know that guy." After the break, we'll take a look at your Campus Connect forecast. Stay with us. You're watching Take 30 News.
Our world is changing. The way we work, the way we connect, the way we see things around us. At Mississippi State University, we're agents of change, creating our own bright futures, solving real problems, turning challenges into possibilities, and lighting the way to a whole new world of emerging markets. Through MSU's new state-of-the-art Center for Entrepreneurship and Outreach, we're collaborating across campus, sharing perspectives and resources of multiple disciplines to power dreams. But we're so much more than dreamers. We've launched hundreds of student-led businesses, earning millions in revenue, and impacting our state's economy in new and creative ways. We're the next generation of business leaders, and we're ready for a changing world. How do we know we're ready? Because we're the ones changing it. If you want to have a big impact in the world, you have to start small. At Mississippi State University, we're starting in the Gulf of Mexico, where a small but crucial barrier island is quickly fading from view. Millions of state dollars are spent dredging sand to replace the vanishing shores of Deer Island, but we think we can do better. We're applying cutting-edge sediment tracers to map the flow of currents and predict the course of sand that's carried out to sea, a process that will help us better understand the drastic transformation taking place. While this is a more cost-effective way to prevent the loss of an island, it's about so much more than saving dollars. It's about taking the first step in a long process to preserve our environment and secure a better, brighter tomorrow. We might be starting small, but rest assured, at Mississippi State University, we're dreaming big.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at your Campus Connect forecast. The next 7 days look warmer with a high of 71 on Tuesday and a 50% chance of cloudy skies as well. A snow day without any snow. The Mississippi State University called off school on Monday because of predicted cold weather, while schools up north are just now canceling class due to chances of frostbite and temperatures that are well below zero.
Are you a Mississippi State student and have you received fraudulent emails about jobs? Well, you're not the only one. Mississippi State students say they've received fraudulent emails about jobs since last year. These emails say that someone is looking for an assistant and offer a weekly pay for around $500. Mississippi State's Career Center, Police Department, and Informational Technical Systems have all sent emails to warn students about these fraudulent emails. MSU student Deja Cresswell says she was almost a victim of this.
I was getting emails from the people saying I was going to make about $500 a week. I reached out to them and they started asking for my information. Then they asked for my bank information and I looked into the company and everyone was saying that it was a scam. So right then and there I knew that I shouldn't go forward with it.
Aquila Theater will be performing a Midsummer Night's Dream for Mississippi State's 2019 Lyceum Series on February 5th at 7 p.m. in Bettersworth Auditorium. The annual Lyceum Series provides a cultural experience with talent ranging from drama to dance to music. It is free to all students with a valid student ID. What could be better than campus Lime bicycles? We'll answer that after this short break. Don't go anywhere, you're watching Take 30 News.
You know the scene in those popular TV crime shows when the investigators show up? The one where they scratch their heads while trying to figure out who committed the homicide and when? At Mississippi State University, we're solving mysteries behind real-life crime scenes with forensic research that's a first of its kind. Teaming with microbiologists from around the country, we're examining microscopic bacteria that can help solve real murders. So far, our partnership with a major metropolitan medical examiner is yielding results with more than 200 real-life crime samples analyzed. We're learning how microbiomes change and relocate, uncovering evidence in criminal investigations by better pinpointing time of death. Way more exciting than being a TV detective. We're finding crucial answers when they're needed most. Solving mysteries with science, that's worth watching.
The Mississippi State University women's basketball team crushed Ole Miss rivals in a Sunday evening game, 80-49. The MSU women's basketball team is currently ranked number 1 in the SEC with 19 wins and only 1 loss so far this season. Their next game is tonight at 6:30. The Lady Bulldogs will face the Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge.
February is just around the corner, which means the MSU baseball season is almost here. The Bulldogs kick off their home opener on February 15th at 4 p.m. The team has a brand new stadium and will face Youngstown State. Cold weather wasn't the only thing to roll into Mississippi State University this week. Lime scooters are now on campus making their first appearance. Students can rent Lime scooters just as they would rent Lime bikes. This is essentially creating more affordable transportation opportunities for students while also adding some fun to their daily commutes. To hop on this trend and rent a Lime scooter, simply download the Lime Your Ride Anytime app and create an account.
Keep in mind, despite all of the nice weather that's coming up in the next 7 days in our forecast, the Midwest, where Maggie, you know I'm from, they're experiencing a crazy polar vortex. I mean, I literally saw a video this morning today that was some girl's hair frozen. I've also seen pants frozen just from going outside, which is, it's kind of funny, Maggie, because there's a Midwestern joke, and basically it's that anytime that you are leaving the house, your mom will always say, you better grab a jacket, and it doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees or if it's negative weather. But the other thing is to not leave the house with wet hair, because you will get sick and it will freeze. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight on Take 30 News. As always, I'm Megan Terry.
And I'm Maggie Thomas. We'll see you next week.